morning, College Station. This is Melissa and my co-host Kimberly. We're here to welcome you to CSTAT News. This morning, there have been few interesting stories coming through this morning alone. First, there has been 20 new construction sites on campus this morning alone. This will only increase the peace, serenity found here on the world's best college campus. Secondly, as the new corpsmen have been fitting their boots, there have been exponential growth in their boot chasing across A&M campus. Doctors have researched and the local government has put out a new warning. It's an epidemic. No cure has been found yet. Lastly, there seems to be a link found between the increased use of media and the frequency of sexual behavior.
Yes, this is a case everyone is talking about. Is there a link? If you use Instagram to post your Sunday selfie, could you be at risk for an increase of sexual behavior? We decided to tackle this head on and look into this very case. Melissa, any more information you can give on this topic?
Yes, indeed. There has been an increase of media across the campus. Media includes, but is not limited to, social media, aka Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc., but also television, YouTube, newspaper, magazines, and advertisements. In fact, according to the Pew Research Center, 62% of men and 68% of women spend time frequently on social media.
In addition, in a separate study done by Strasburger in 2010, 75% of all television programs contain sexual content, but only 40% of sexual incidents mention any risk or responsibilities of sexual activity. This is one example, can show how media can influence people without fully educating them on the risk of the behavior.
Although media is a huge source of education that people use to gain knowledge, this media can have a beneficial or degrading influence on sexual behavior. It can help if the media encourages protected sex, education of STIs, and the risk of pregnancies. It can also enforce riskier sexual behaviors such as unprotected sex, high frequency of sex, low communication, and forget to mention the risk that comes with sex.
It is very important for health providers, especially those in Bureau, to know what their patients are consuming through media and how it affects them. We decided to check out what our college students are consuming in media, how it might affect them, so we're going to switch over to our on-site reporter, McKenna, to ask the college students what they think.
Reporting here live on Texas A&M campus. Hello, random interviewer. What's your name?
My name's Sean.
Okay, we're going to ask you a few questions. How many times have you used social media about in the past week?
The past week, you're talking like each day, like how much, or?
Like how many hours on average each day?
Okay, 1 hour.
1 hour each day he spends on social media. How many times have you gone on Instagram today?
About 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay, how many times have you gone on Facebook?
3 or 4.
What about Snapchat?
Snapchat, I've gone on more than that, probably about 7, just because I check my snaps periodically.
And then how many hours of Netflix or TV have you probably watched in the past week?
Honestly, because it was break, a lot more, because I was home with my family, we watched a lot of lacrosse, so I'm going to say upwards of like 12.
The question is, how many hours per week do you think you spend on social media?
Well, I particularly don't have a lot of social media, so probably less than 1.
How many times today have you used social media?
A lot. 19.
19, awesome. About how many of those have you opened the Facebook app on your phone?
19.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. Thank you.
You really gave us a great insight of what it looks like being a college student influenced by media.
Outside of McKenna interviewing, we decided to conduct a study ourselves. This study consists of 3 demographic questions, 5 questions related to the questions we are researching. There was a total of 76 participants, 61.8 being females and 38.2 being males. They were asked questions on their use of media and the frequency of social behavior.
To tell you more about our study, the questions we asked, and the results, we're going to hand this off to our research reporter, Maida, to inform you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. So I would love to share our research. So the first question we asked is the last week about how many days did you spend using the following media? So mostly of the stats states that social media, radio, and television are mostly used than newspaper. And then we asked about magazines, YouTube, and movies, but mostly they use the uses of internet rather than magazines. So then we asked, in the past week, while using media, have you encountered any sexual content? So mostly of the participants, they encounter sexual content. And then we asked, if your answer is yes to the question above, about how much percent of sexual content have you encountered while using the media? So most of the majority, they did about 50% encountered in the red and blue some sexual content of media. Then we asked, in the past week, about how many times have you engaged in the following sexual activity? So mostly they engage kissing and masturbation, but as you can see, they also engage on oral sex and vaginal sex. And then we thought it was important to ask how do you feel about the following statement: an increase in the media use increases sexual activity. So mostly they strongly agree, as you can see in the blue and red. Thank you so much, and I will hand it back to Melissa.
Thank you so much for giving us all that information. In this study that we conducted, the results showed a good amount of media usage, especially in regards to the internet. Not much media was consumed by the magazines or newspaper, although most of the people agree that they have seen sexual behavior in the media over the past week.
Also, our study showed that there was sexual behavior that was reported, the most prevalent being masturbation and kissing. There were some cases of frequent oral and vaginal sex, although there were sexual instances, over the majority of people in every category of sexual behavior did not participate in that behavior in the past week. This proves that there's enough research to support our original hypothesis that the increase of media consumption would increase the frequency of sexual behavior. Yet, because there were instances of sexual behavior, we cannot say that the media had no influence on the frequency of sexual behavior. More research needs to be done on a wider sample of people in order to get more clear evidence.
Our sample was a bit biased due to only sampling 76 people in a very conservative college campus, which does not actually represent all of our college students. In addition, usually people are shy and may not be honest in their responses due to the negative connotation assumed with sex.
Although we don't have clear evidence, due to the clear amount of media usage from those we surveyed on the college campus, we can assume that the media probably plays some sort of role in influence on sex. This is why we believe that the media should be used to promote healthy behaviors in regards to sexuality, such as promoting protected sex and clear communication. This could be something that could be pushed for in movies, television, and social media.
New technology and sources of media are constantly being created and growing. Health providers should be aware of all the ways that college students are being influenced. Thank you for taking the time to listen and be informed about media and sexual behavior on the Texas A&M campus.
We look forward to find more breaking news and interesting stories to share with you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later for the evening news, where the rumor has it that Reveille may be a co-host. What? See you later.